This is 24. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. So this morning I woke up with a notification on my phone that said day 2 of the D.I.C.E Summit. And I was kind of weirded out because I thought that it was EA's D.I.C.E, the company and the publisher and the developer of games like Battlefront, Battlefield 1, 2, 3, Battlefield 1, 4, Battlefield Hard. You get the point. That type of D.I.C.E. And I realized pretty quickly, because I thought that it was ridiculous that D.I.C.E would have 2 days of nonsense. But I found out pretty quickly after watching the stream on IGN that it wasn't the D.I.C.E that I know of. It's not the developer. It's what D.I.C.E stands for, and the actual event is called the D.I.C.E Summit. What D.I.C.E stands for, it stands for Design, Innovative, Communicate, and Entertain. And pretty much it is a summit where a bunch of developers, publishers, and executives all get together and they talk not necessarily about games and how games are in the industry. They do talk about that, but it's not what the whole concept of D.I.C.E is. It's about the business aspect of D.I.C.E. It's about how innovations and creation reach us as the consumers, and how they should market their games or how they should create their own games to reach the consumers in more platforms, because this is the business aspect of games. This isn't E3 where they show off gameplay. This is the business aspect of it, of video games. I cannot express that enough. So I was watching parts of it, and it kind of dawned on me that D.I.C.E is both good and bad for the industry. The reason why it's good and bad for the industry is because you have concepts that are pro-consumer, that consumers love, being implemented into, or not being implemented, but are being shared among executives. And executives that may not have employed these practices that are pro-consumer and that consumers love, they now may do it. Like, for instance, themes that CD Projekt implement in their games that are pro-consumers that really reach consumers. The reason why everybody loved The Witcher 3 is that you got so much content for what you straight up bought, and then if you wanted to buy the DLC, you got more stuff with the DLC. And the reason why D.I.C.E could also be bad is, simply put, microtransactions. Naughty Dog had microtransactions in their game. We all know EA has had microtransactions in their games for years, and now Ubisoft is kind of jumping on the bandwagon of that with some of their games like Unity and most recently For Honor. But I think the overall theme and the importance of D.I.C.E is that it shows companies and executives how to make money. And even though I think that there's some really cool aspects about D.I.C.E, like with the round table discussions, and there was this segment on their website specifically that had me interested in it, and it was, where esports could definitely go. That had me interested in it, but there are other aspects that are kind of being swept under the rug. To give you an example of what I'm talking about, how D.I.C.E is a platform where executives learn how to reach consumers, there's a short little clip about how where Marvel head of games comes to D.I.C.E and he speaks at D.I.C.E and he's talking about how different variations of Captain America kind of speak to audiences. Like, a lot of people liked the Peggy Carter version of Captain America.
And out of the 7 executions of this Captain America project, this is the one that got the most attention and was seen a ton of websites, and then actually at conventions we started seeing cosplayers dressed as Peggy Carter and Captain America.
And that's great that they figure out stuff like that so that way they can kind of market their games towards more audiences. But for me, it's like the industry is kind of in a weird aspect where you see a lot of people trying to make a lot of money. And that's not what it was 10 years ago or even 20 years ago. The industry wasn't so riddled. It didn't have season passes being released in conjunction with the actual game being released. So D.I.C.E, whether D.I.C.E is contributing to that or not is kind of beyond me right now. I don't necessarily know that information, but it's a question that I would like to ask if I was invited to D.I.C.E, and it's a question that I would love to pose at executives and publishers and developers that are at D.I.C.E. This has been 24. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. So right now I have the what's it called? Ghost Recon Wildlands beta being downloaded in the background. It's still like 2 hours away. I don't know what's going on with my internet. I'm in college right now, but it's still like 2 hours away from downloading. So expect a video about Ghost Recon Wildlands in the next couple of days, because I did really harp on the game, and I want to be able to back up what I've said about the game in the past and what I will continue to say about it in the future, unless something drastic has changed in the past 2 to 3 weeks that the game has really had a lot of gameplay for. But until that video, have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time.